What's up, YouTube? Just working on this beautiful 2017 Honda Pilot. Doing these motor mounts. Okay. You guys know me, I don't do long intros and all that unnecessary talking. I get right to the point, down to the nitty gritty. So, of course, you're going to need to have your motor mounts first. These are active mounts. So, they have a little sensor on the side that plugs in. So if you don't have that on yours, then you have the wrong mounts. The front one and the rear one has that little sensor on it. The other two are just regular mounts. So, of course, jack the car up first. You're going to need to take your driver's side wheel off. And then you could either do the passenger side first, or you could do the transmission one first. I'm doing the transmission side first because I want to have access to the front mount a lot easier. So you come in here, take your wheel off. This cover had this little splash shield. Let me focus this. There we go. This little cover here, it has two little tabs on it, little plastic tabs. You just pry those out with a flathead or either a pry tool. They're up here, 1 and 2 up there, and then you pry this back. I just cut mine a little bit because it makes it easier to get to in the future. Once you put the tabs back on and put it back straight, it'll, do its job, protect it from splashes or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, you have a mount right here. It has 3 bolts on it. 1, 2, and then 3. And then you have one in here that holds it to the frame. These 3 are on the transmission, and then one on the frame. I don't know if you can see that one right there. So get off the 3 first. I'll tell you, if you have an impact, this thing is beautiful. It's worth every penny. If you have one of these, it makes it a lot easier than using hand tools. So, just a heads up. You come in here and you take these 3 off. 1. 2. They're all the same size, so it doesn't matter if you get them mixed up. And 3. I forgot to mention, make sure you block of wood under your transmission to hold it up, because it's going to drop a little bit. Put a block of wood under it to hold it up. Support the car on jack stands. And if that top bolt is a little tight, just go in there and jack it up a little more. That'll take off the weight off the mount. Bam, there you go. I had it a little too high, but it'll be okay. It ain't gonna hurt anything. Then your mount, you have your middle bolt here, the one that's on the frame. Take that out. By the way, these are all 14 millimeters. So there you go. It's not focusing. These are all 14 millimeters. I was looking online trying to find a video for this job, but apparently there is none. So it seems I'm the first one to make a video for this. Yay!
One eternity later.
So once you get that middle bolt loose, just slide it out. You may have to pry it on it a little bit or stick a flathead in there on the head and then tap it out with a hammer or something if yours is a little stuck. But it should come right out. Don't lose this little washer thing. Keep it all together. Then, if you need a little more space, go, remember, jack your engine up a little bit higher. And then you'll have room to pull it right on out. Well, just go from the bottom. That'll make it easier. Go right out the bottom. Instead of trying to pull it towards you, just pull it out the bottom. And that one's out. Now, here comes the fun one. Okay. We're in here on the front motor mount. The front, one of the big ones. These are the main mounts you have. The big one, the front one, and the rear one. Okay, let me focus. It's focused. Okay, the way you get to this one is you gotta take some stuff off. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as that side one is. So what you want to do first is you come in here, take your battery out, 2 10 millimeters to unscrew your battery, negative and positive. Take those out, set them aside out of the way. Then pull your battery out, the little trays, the covers, all that. The battery case has a fan in it. Has a fan, the battery case has a fan, so make sure you unplug that and don't damage it. There's the top cover over there. And there's your battery. Then come on back in here and take your tray out. Well, you don't really have to take it out. You just want to remove all the bolts on it. You have, what were those? 14s? No, 12s. Those were 12s. No, they were 14s. That's 17, 16 anyway. What is this? They were 12 millimeters. Yeah, okay. These funny looking bolts here. You have 4 of these. You have one here, one over here, one there, and then you have 2 on the bottom against the side of the frame. You can get to this one over here close to the radiator with an extension, and then the other one, just a deep 12 millimeter socket. And then you have 110 right here holding on the air box. Just take that, loosen that out. And your wires are still attached to it, so unless you want to remove all those wires and clips on holding on to the thing, just the easy way is just to leave this thing in here. Just leave it, put it to the side. You can put a zip bungee cord on it or something to hold it out of your way. Because what you want to do is take your fans out next. So I didn't even disconnect it because I don't really need to. I just needed to move it out of the way. It was like this. And so you have 2 down there. Those 2 down there, they go in the holes down there. They go in these holes here, right there and right there. So remove all that. Just like I said, bungee cord out of the way so it'll be out of your way. Then you want to come in here. You have 2 10 millimeters on the what do you call it? The fan. There's one and there's the other one. And there's the other one. And then you have 2 on this one as well. One there and one here. Undo those 2. You can use a 10 millimeter deep well and like a little, short extension. That's all you need. And then remove those. The bottom of the fan just sits into the little tabs down there. So you don't have to worry about that. It just sits into those little tabs and lifts right up. Now, the driver's side fan has a little wire plug-in attached to it. driver's side fan. This is the passenger side fan right here. You have a little wire attached to it. And when you pull the fan loose, you want to make sure you unhook this first, so you don't want to break this. That's attached right there to that white, sensor. It's probably like a tip sensor or something. But anyway, once you get that out, then you want to remove your cap, because your fan's going to catch on that oil cap. So take your cap off, set it to the side. Come back in here and make sure this is out of the way, this tray. Your fan, you want to tilt it back, lift it out. And this thing here was in the way a little bit, but I just bent it out of the way just a little bit. It's not hurting anything. It's the holder for your oxygen sensor wire harness. And then once you slide that fan out, come to your passenger side fan, do the same thing. Slide it on over. Slide it over to the driver's side spot and pull it out the same way you did the driver's side fan. Then you have both fans out. Then you come in here, place a piece of cardboard so you don't damage your radiator, because don't think you want to buy another radiator if you can even find one of these things at all. And okay, then you're down to your motor mount. Now you have 4 bolts on the bottom, but you're going to do those last. You have 2 bolts up top. This one here and that one there. They have a bracket over them. This bracket here. And there's 2 nuts. So take those out. You can get to those straight down with a long extension like I have. I had to remove the spark plug coil pack for this one here. The end coil pack, remove that out of the way so you can get your socket straight down in there. I have this rigged up. 2 half-inch extensions, and then or if you just have a long extension already, you know, big 24-inch extension already, that's good enough. But if you don't, you have to rig it up. Now, you can either use your impact or you can use a half-inch ratchet. It's around here somewhere. And this is a half-inch, like I said, so it goes on the impact easily. Then your bottom, I don't have any 14mm half-inch drive, so I have to use the adapter and then the 14mm 3/8 drive. So then you come in here. Well, no, that's still not long enough. I forgot. And you come in here. So I got it like this. I have 2 half-inch extensions and 1 3/8 extension, and then a 14mm on the end. Then you come in here like this. And then you come in here like this. You have the one in the back. That gets to that one easily. Then you come over to the front and you have the one in the front. You can reach that easily. Take that off. Then you come over here to this side and take that one off. This extension goes straight down. And then your one in the back is a little tricky, and this is why I did this a certain way like this with different extensions, not just one. You could probably do the same thing with the universal joint too, but this is what I did. My universal joint is broken, so I had to buy another one. But this works just as well. I try to do this stuff in a way where everybody has these simple tools. Not everybody has all the complex tools and stuff like that. So what I did was I took the 3/8 one. I think this is about 6 inches, I guess. And then I put that down on the bolt first. I put that down on the bolt first, back there. If you can reach it, it's a little awkward doing it with one hand holding the camera, but you can do it. Put that on there first. So you get that on there, and then you want to lean it forward a little bit. It's on there, lean it forward a little bit. Then you can put your other one in there, connect it together. Then it reaches all the way in there. Of course, like I said, you have to remove your coil pack to get access. Otherwise, you won't even be able to get to it. But it's on there now. Then you take that one off. Then all four of those are loose. So you have your 2 on the bracket, and you have your 4 on the bottom. 2 17 millimeters, 4 14 millimeters. Then you come for your one right here in the front, your big bolt, which is this one. That's also another 14 millimeter, and you can get that off easily because you have so much room right here. You have about probably 8 inches of space, so you can get your ratchet in there and just turn that right off. If you jack the engine up a little bit, you'll have the weight off the bolt, so it'll come right out. This is a pretty much newer car, so the bolt shouldn't be all stuck and rusted anyway. I don't know about you guys up north, but down here in Florida, I mean, the bolts aren't rusted. There's no rust in this car at all. It's pretty clean. It's got this car's got 102 on it, and it's a 2017. It's no rust at all. Everything comes right off. Still pretty good. We don't have to worry about any rust down here. But once you get everything loose, then your mount just comes right out. Oh, I forgot. You have to unplug the wire harness at the bottom. Right there. You have to unplug that. Easy peasy. Take that out. Then your mount comes right up. And you put it back in the same way you took it out. Then your passenger side mount. Now, I'm not really going to explain this one step by step because, I mean, it's pretty easy. If you've done a few Honda motor mounts before in the past, this would be, easy anyway. But if this one's not easy for you, then you probably shouldn't be doing this job in the first place. Now, same thing. You have the 2 14s right there. 2 14s right here. Take those 2 out first. Then your little 10 millimeter here, which is a ground wire. Take that out. Then your 17, your big one here, take that out. Then this bracket comes off. This bracket here comes off. And that's out of the way. Then you only have one down there. That one down there is a 14, and then your other one on this side, another 14. So one there, one here, another 14. One more back there hiding, right here. Take that 14 out, and that's what's holding the mount down. Of course, you probably have to remove this 10 here, and that 10 up there. There's it. That 10 up there, probably. This 10 here, I probably have to remove that one, and then that one down there. And then that one there. Unless you can get a ratchet in there and get that other 14 off, I don't know. But this side's pretty easy. It's not really that hard. The only thing I'd see be hard is probably getting this last bolt out of the way up in here. That last bolt right there, that'd probably be the only one I see that's hard, but I don't know why they put this bracket right here in the way. That's why I really don't care for these newer Hondas. That's all 3 of your front motor mounts. I'm gonna try to tackle the back one and then see if I can get to that and then do a separate video on that one. That one looks a little bit harder. It's not one of the easier ones. That back motor mount is not like the regular Honda's older J series. It has this piece here you have to remove, I'm guessing, or that, to get to it. Or you can probably go from the top, which would probably be the best way. But like I said, I'm going to look into it first and I'll make another video on that one separately if you need help on that one. And I'll leave a link down in the bottom for the second video. But for now, this is just the front three. Most of you guys probably shouldn't have to be doing these motor mounts this soon on a car, but unless you got 1,000,000 miles on it, I don't know. But these mounts really weren't bad. This is my father-in-law's car. I'm just doing it for him because we're getting ready to move out of town, and I want to get all the big stuff done on his car before he has to go to a shop or anything. To save him money, I want to do all the big stuff to save him money from going to a shop. Have all this stuff done before I leave because we're moving to another state. Not going to be able to be his mechanic anymore. So that's just it. I got to do the timing belt as well on this thing. But that's pretty similar to the other J-Series engines, of course. Actually, it should be a little bit easier doing timing belt in this car because there's no power steering pump. Because that was a little bit of another thing you have to do on the older J-Series engines. So, take your time and you'll get it. It's not really that hard. I'd say this is probably a 5 in difficulty, I'd say. It's just really tedious and a lot of taking stuff apart. Timing belt job probably an 8. I don't recommend doing that unless you really have experience doing that kind of stuff. Because if you mess it up, you're going to bend the valves and warp the heads and all that, and you're going to mess this engine up really bad. And that's extremely expensive. I think the cheapest engine I saw for one of these was probably like $1,200 or $1,700, I think. But anyway, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you the best way I can. Until next time.